Hey, 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 welcome back to another RSG live lunch stream. I'm Ranger J 1999. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here joining us with the RSG crew. And if you're probably sitting here looking at this for the first time, wondering what the lunch stream is, well, that's where we just hang out with you wonderful folks for the next hour. Bring us something to listen to during the day's work. And thank God it's Friday. That's all I got to say. Thoughts still with everybody in North Carolina. That storm's just sitting there like a beast. So everybody there still stay safe. You're not out of the woods yet. It's just moving slow. So just take care of each other. Take care of yourself. We want to keep you around for a long time. Hope everybody's safe. Let's introduce everybody on the panel today. We got pretty much a few of the RG crew. And let's introduce everybody. Of course, we have the troll extraordinaire, Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh my God, that was too loud. Also joining us is the master of gingivitis himself, Stanley Red.
TGIF.
Yeah. Also joining us, we have Grim the Mechanic.
TGIF.
Word. And then last but not least, we have Stoner Jedi and my apprentice, the baby.
What's up, guys?
Get off. I want to hear the baby.
Say hi.
That's right, my apprentice. Soon you'll be strong enough for the dark side to kill your father and take your place set as my side.
Say yes, Ranger. Yes. No, nothing.
The force is strong within. A powerful Sith you will become.
Always smiling, too. Ranger's talking like that. Yes, master.
Right. Strike down your father. Release your hatred. All right. So, glad to have everybody here. If you have questions, the way it works is just go ahead and put your question in. Make sure you put the word question in front of your statement so we know that for sure that it's a question. Sometimes if you just put a question there, we can miss it sometimes with Nightbot and stuff like that. So that's why we ask you to do that. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Obviously, you love the content that we're putting out. Please subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. If you haven't already, stop what you're doing right now. Hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up. That helps spread the message of RSG out as well. If you haven't checked out our Patreon, please check out our Patreon. We've got that up and running. Everything that you guys do to support us, whether it's Patreon or subscribing or giving us a thumbs up, Super Chat in YouTube, or become a sponsor in YouTube, all helps us proceed in basically keeping the content going. So if you want to keep us alive and keep us rocking and rolling, all your support really does make a big difference. That being said, now Dr. Finn, we are working on a big thing for April, right?
Yes, give me 1 second, though.
What? All right. Bring back the baby. I have more to teach him about the dark side.
Sorry, I was getting set up here because I was still finishing up a couple work things, but now I'm good.
Stoner, give me the baby. I need him to kill Finn.
The baby loves me. Okay, so what we are doing in April is our goal is to do a charity run. There's an event down in Orlando at Disney called Run Disney. And it is essentially a run that you can do, and there's different things, and we plan on doing a half marathon. And by we, I mean the RSG crew, so myself, Ranger, Tits, Grande, Loki, Sanely, and Grim. And so we wanted to go down there, and then we were going to start a campaign where people could donate either just straight to the charity, or they can donate like per mile or kilometer based on how much we run. And we would try and stream during that day and also give away some stuff. And also after the event and everything was done, we would create like a shirt that had the name of everyone that supported us and all that kind of fun stuff, right? And then obviously all of that would go towards the charity that we would be running for on that day. That being said, it's in Orlando. And so there are some travel costs and stuff associated with it. And so we were hoping to get help from the community for us to go down there, and so we could do the charity run. And so in the description of the YouTube page, there is a link to a GoFundMe to help RSG get to the charity run. We are raising, so we need to raise $5,000. You'll see that the GoFundMe has $5,500, and that's because GoFundMe takes a 3% cut, so it kind of covers that. But Anything extra in the GoFundMe would go directly to the charity. Again, just like we do with our stream with the stuff that you give us, it goes right back into the stream. For this one, all the money goes straight back into the charity. Nothing is coming to us directly. The only thing we're trying to cover is our travel expenses in order to get there. So if you guys would like to support us, the link to the GoFundMe page is in the description of the video. And as I mentioned yesterday, and now it's up there in the YouTube description, and I'll put it on the GoFundMe page. If you donate $25, basically I should say for every $25 that you donate, I will help you remod 5 characters. So Walter Arnold donated 25 yesterday, and so I will be helping him remod his 5 characters at some point. We're working on the schedule, so we'll do that in Discord. And we can do it however is easiest for you. I can share my screen and use the notepad and do my little drawings and everything too, and we can potentially stream that as well. But whatever the case, if you guys want help remodding, like fully remodding 5 characters at a time, that would be $25. And if you guys donate that, that helps us get there, and then also helps you in swgoh. So there you go.
There you go. All right, that's all the mechanisms. Now, we have a roster review today, and we have our game with Saintly called Guess the Ginger. Is that what we're calling it? Guess the Ginger, Saintly?
I like that name. I think that's a good name.
Okay, so, but first let's do this roster review. We have Dan from Dark Lord Scoundrels, so shout out to Dark Lord Scoundrel. A lot of Dark Lords this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grande's been sending them our way.
God. You know,
so not only does he, screw up on names and get us
right
to do roster reviews for him and not show up, he sends his whole guild after us.
Hey, this is done for you by the big deal, and you will appreciate it.
Well, kiss my ass. Please stop doing us favors. Please, God,
yeah,
stop it.
No.
New plan. Have the baby kill Grande.
Grande will chase him with a jacket. Okay, so
hey guys, I found a baby. Oh my God. What if I catch that baby with his jacket?
All right, so in looking at what he wants us to review for his roster, so right now he's working on his Sith teams for when he gets Treya unlocked. So he's saying about 2 months. So this is his Arena Sith team, not Sith raid teams, but his Arena Sith team. Mm-hmm. So we can look at his Sith and try to figure out what kind of team he's going towards. He said he's looking for Triumvirate, Sith Trooper, and +1. So we can look at what he has. In the meantime, he's using Jedi Training Rey, but he feels like Arena's his weak point. So we'll definitely look at his Arena. The other part is the hard node farm. Now, this was he mentioned this to me before I think all of this stuff dropped. So currently, hard node farms, he's farming Visas, Pimp Trooper, aka Saintly Trooper, aka Range Trooper, Bosk, and now he's farming Bastila. So it's kind of right after that point. Cantina, he's working on First Order Executioner, because First Order is kind of the next thing that he's looking at, and then he's trying to just figure out what to do with Fleet. So those are the 3 things we're kind of looking at. So Arena, farming, and Fleet.
Well, I'm looking at his Arena now. So Nihilus is 7 stars, gear 8. You're going to have to get him to gear 11 as soon as possible. Scion's 7-star, good. With the Zeta, gear 10, get him to gear 11. He does have a Palpatine that's gear 12. His Sith Trooper is gear 8, but only 4 stars. So we got some farming to do on him. So he's got the pieces there. I think that by the time he does have Treya, he should be good to go for the other pieces. You have 2 choices with the Treya team. If you're going to run Sith Trooper, you can either run Thrawn, which you do have a 12-star or a gear 12 7-star Thrawn, or you can go with an Emphas Nest. It doesn't have to be. It can be 4 stars, and you're fine because Emphas is ridiculous. If you guys didn't see, I was with Mist yesterday, and we were just digging around on his test account, and we were kind of testing the bounty hunters and some different combinations and stuff, and we threw an Emphas in there, and oh my God, Emphas is a beast. I mean,
She is.
absolutely
she's
ridiculous.
amazing.
You know, I'm thinking
She does need a Zeta though for arena.
She does.
Not really.
If you don't target anyone that's attacking you, she's gonna cause Scion to get his
I've noticed it with and
revive
without the
back
Zeta.
super.
True.
Yeah, I
So
put the
Emphas
Zeta
really
on her.
needs
Yeah,
her Zeta for arena.
yeah.
Outside of arena, fine. Even territory wars, it doesn't matter because you're probably not going to be facing a Scion on offense.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a defense. But in arena, for sure, you need it.
Yeah, the defensive concept though, like say you're throwing it down like with your trail wall, and she's got that Zeta, she can counter even if
even that
what
taunt.
is it? Yeah, exactly. So you got something else
And exposed,
to hit that magma
and
trooper,
daze.
yeah,
Oh, God.
and to chip away at their team. Even if Thrawn's got that Zeta on the team, it's pain.
Yeah, Emphas, a fast Emphas, it's just, she's ridiculous. I mean, you can beat it with a Traya team, but the odds are a little bit less than facing a normal Traya team, because if you know what to do and stuff, it's easy to beat. But Memphis can change the dynamic, and on territory wars, she's just ridiculous on that team. And you can use her in any combination of teams. If you want to keep your Traya team with like the way it is, I know a lot of people do that with Dooku, and then you want to go to Night Sisters and put Memphis on there. Have fun. Because that really makes your life miserable. Memphis goes first. Your team has turn meters days. Then you get all the plague, and then you get all this, and then you get all that. It's like, oh my god. So
that's the Night Sister teams that we've been using for territory wars. Putting Nest in there with zombie and all. It's brutal.
Yeah,
it's so brutal.
We were playing around with Django and Ness, who gives her speed and stuff. Retarded. It's not even fair.
Dang, yeah. I bet you went first like every time.
He crushed a Traya team. These are teams that have like all gear 12, 7-star, best mods, right? Because they all have like ridiculous mods, right? Just brutal with that team. And he tried it with just the bounty hunters and Nest, kicked ass. And then he tried it with the Triumph. It didn't go so well. He had to really speed up his Nest super fast. But yeah, Django with Emphis is pretty ridiculous. Because she gets all those bonuses because she's a scoundrel as well. So you can run all kind of combination. You could run 4 bounty hunters with Emphis and just maul people on offense. It is ridiculous. And just bounty hunters in general, one of the things we noticed too, without a Nest, I'm trying to remember if the team we faced had a Nest or not. I think it did, but it was 4 bounty hunters against his team with 4 bounty hunters and Nest. And his payout, it's going to be something crazy, ridiculously tough to beat. But the good thing is it is behind a paywall. It's not going to be happening anytime soon. Maybe there'll be some wells. It can be beaten with Traya. But on offense, you have no problems with Traya with that team. It goes and it just doesn't stop, and you get your payout right away, and it's just ridiculous how disgusting that is. If you haven't checked it, go check out the last hour of the stream. We streamed for like 3 hours yesterday, but during that last hour and a half, we sliced mods. We geared up his character so we could kind of play around with it, and it was crazy how ridiculous. Django Fett on offense is pretty disgusting. I don't know about defense.
Oh,
but on offense, oh god!
That being said, Dan's Memphis is only 3-star. So
well, I know, but I'm just giving him some things to think about as for future. So for you, Dan, the reason I'm bringing all that up is Memphis is a possibility. Farm Memphis. I don't know why people are not farming Memphis. If you farm but I understand Lando's there. Listen, you can get both characters farmed in a day. Don't worry about Jolie and don't worry about Basil. You can include them in your hard node farm. So you're still getting shards, right? Memphis is worth it. She is worth that farm. She is definitely worth it. That's why I'm going all in on her. Because she is that good. I'm thinking about putting her in my arena team now. Because she's so damn good. I'm going to have to redo all my mods. And the only reason I haven't is because it's not hard for me to get top 4 whenever I want. And I'm going to, like today I'll take 1. This won't be a problem. But I'm thinking of switching Memphis out for Thrawn for Memphis because She's just that damn good. I'm serious as a heart attack. That is some ridiculous stuff that she does. So that's a possibility. However, you can go Thrawn until you get your Ephes ready, but you're still said 2 months away from Traya. So, I'm looking at what your arena's doing now. You do have an Emperor Palpatine. If you want to make a little bit of investment in Nihilus, get Scion to at least gear. You can take Scion to gear 12. Run Nihilus, run Thrawn, run Emphis with that team, and you could easily do much better than you're doing in Arena right now. And it doesn't. I mean, gear 3, or 3-star, 4-star Emphis is just as good as anything. So if you want to start farming Emphis, get her to gear 11, put the Zeta on her. You'll be good. Now you don't have a Zeta on Emperor Palpatine lead, so that would be the priority first if you're going to switch to a Sith lineup. Because with that team, you can beat Traya teams. It is proven that Palpatine lead teams can beat Traya teams. You just have to know the kill order, who to focus it on. But it's not rocket science. But you do have some of the pieces already there. So we have a little bit of work to do with Nihilus. We have some work just to finish up Scion. And Thrawn's done. So really, it's just a matter of adding Emphis in there and go forth and conquer, my friend. I mean, that's a really good team, especially for climbing, that you could do really well with. Won't hold as well on defense but even with a slow Emphis and someone, you can still do pretty decent with that team because Thrawn will speed her up.
You need to fix your mods. You need to fix your
mods.
Really?
Are we seeing something in the mod?
Oh, yeah. Yes. His fastest one is a critical damage triangle offense primary on First Order Executioner.
And what? What's the speed?
Exactly.
You gotta fix your mods. You gotta fix your mods. That's probably why you're struggling. They're not even on your Jedi training raid team. Your mods are all over the place.
Choose said most people can't beat or get to that node. Well, guys, there is a... You know what we need to do, Finn? Because we keep getting requested this. Why don't we go back to that lunch stream, cut out the video of me beating that, right? And maybe we can do a quick video for people on how to beat that node. Because everybody that I've sent to that video, it's like 3 weeks now, 3 weeks ago for the lunch stream of the team, I've had people message me like, look, I used your team that you did and I beat it. There's a certain way that I use the ships to attack and their abilities. I think I healed right away with Thrawn and who I brought in with Plo Koon and stuff like that I was able to beat it. It can be done, guys.
Yep. Yeah, so once you fix your mods, I think you'll have a better chance in Arena. If you wanted to go with the team now, Jedi Training Raid is really weak right now. And I'm sure you're seeing it as you're kind of dropping out of the top 200. Switch to your Sith team anyways without Traya.
Well, yeah, just drop. Once you get a Zeta, drop it on EP and run an EP team.
Yep.
Because, JTR is a thing of the past in the arena now.
GTR wasn't even a pass. She was all hype.
Mm-hmm.
I said it before. She was crap. The only reason she's good is because of Sith Raid. She was too squishy to begin with, and countered by Night Sister, she served no purpose on Arena. But that being said, that's a whole different discussion.
She's had her time to shine. I mean, metas come and go.
Yeah,
she was meta for a little bit, and she's been kind of hanging around. It's a team that people get. It's got its uses.
Sith phase 1. Okay, so work on your Sith. If you put a Zeta on Emperor Palpatine, Vader, Scion, work on your Nihilus, get your Nihilus up, and then throw in a Thrawn. You have a team there. You want to focus your mods on Vader and get Vader as your fastest. So there you go. If you haven't seen it, I have a speed optimization video. So you can go ahead and check that out in terms of how to get your fastest speed mods. Or now with the GoFundMe, if you donate $25.
Yeah, there you go. Jesus.
I will help you remod specifically.
So people are saying they're stuck on just the first note of ships and stuff. I used my basic lineup. Now I did change some stuff based off. Here's a hint, guys. If you're facing a certain lineup, you can use a different lineup to beat it. If you have the ships. If not, you have to figure out what you're facing. right? You just can't go in there guns a-blazing with your best arena team. I think you're just going to walk through some of those battles. You have to be smart a little bit about who you bring in. I'll tell you one big help that you guys should if you have the ship, that will make a huge difference. I use Plo Koon as my first reinforcement off the bench.
Decent one, if you have access to it, is Houndstooth and Cad Bane's ship.
We were buffering that for a sec.
Yeah, we were set. I just said it. So, but yeah, Plo Koon is a big time ship that can come off the bench and really help you out.
You just have to go tanky. Let's just put it out there. It's
yeah,
not the
go
same as
tanky.
Arena.
I usually will go with a bigs with
silencer. Is great in those battles.
Yeah. You know, and some ships help you out better than others. You know, Chimera's may not be the ideal ship that you want to use, or the lineup that you want to use. You know, so for certain battles, I went Old Republic fleet with Mace. Right now, some people can't do
Mace
that.
and Clone Sergeant. Yeah,
you just throw those guys in there and just survive and just whittle them down. It's not hard. But some people can't do that.
Here's going to be the unfortunate kind of honest truth here as well. A lot of people don't like ships.
No.
And they've also then not invested in their ships.
Yeah.
The level 5 of the fleet table is not expected to be easy. It does require you to get decent ships. And it requires you to have decent pilots. I have all my ships pretty much level 85, and they're maxed out in abilities up to what the gear of the characters I have, but I don't have all of them maxed out. And so sometimes there is difficulty even for my roster, and I've had to start sort of work on getting the pilots up a little bit, and some of them aren't even 3-star yet. But part of that is that you have to focus on your ships. So if you're facing difficulty, it's different than Arena. Arena is not the same. Arena you can kind of get away with just a couple of ships and getting a little bit of RNG and winning. There's people that are only focusing on top 200 or don't even care about ships and just doing their one battles. So make sure that you're working on your ships too, especially right now, because there are not a lot of ships, and we can kind of expect that there's going to be a lot more ships coming up. And you're on essentially the ground floor of ships. There's only so many ships in the game, right? You already have an idea of which ones you need to work on, which are like the good ships, and you don't necessarily need to worry about the ones that aren't good now and then trying to guess at that. But you know which pilots are worth it for their ships. You know that bounty hunters, more likely than not, as a result of the Cad Bane one, are probably going to get at least 1 or 2 more ships, because they're easy ones to add a ship to, because ships require a pilot. And so once you have that synergy, you know that if a particular character has the ability to become a pilot, chances are they will become a pilot, and it looks like they're focusing on bounty hunters, right? So if you're working on bounty hunters, kind of get ready for that. It looks like they might be moving in that direction. Yeah. Whatever it is, keep working on your ships. I know it sucks. Trust me. Yeah,
a lot of my ships characters are not tier 12 either. It's, you know, as long as you have the mods on there and stuff, you know how to use the ships and when to use the abilities, it can be done. You know, my Plo Koon I think is like gear 8 as a character and stuff, but his ship is so amazing that, you know, you can go in there and do what you need to do. Is throw that protection up, put that taunt on that character, and go forward and kick ass, you know?
And I think Remy says it well. Remy says, I get top 10 nearly every day, so my arena team is pretty decent, but I don't have all the ships developed, and that's the key.
Right.
In PvE, as you see with everything with characters, right? You can have your arena team and characters, but then you also need to have a different group for some of the other things that are coming in PvE. Even if you look at something like the battle tables, I don't know how long everyone has been playing, but for a long time before we started adding some characters and like the higher level characters you could get by allies and stuff. Do you remember how difficult like the Baze node and the Shore Trooper node were? Like people were going nuts. And that's because a lot of the characters that you focused on in Arena were dark side dark side, right? And they're light side. And like you just didn't have the characters in order to get it that easily. And so people were struggling, and you were trying to like get allies that were sharing those characters with you to help you beat it. There were posts on the forums for people to trade characters. I mean, all the PvE stuff requires you not only to have good characters, but also depth of characters. Ships is no different. It just happens to be in a mode that people don't like, and it doesn't seem like a focus, right? It doesn't seem like the one you have to work on because it's ships. Everything raids are all just characters. Arena is just characters. Ships kind of just falls by the wayside a little bit. So make sure that you guys are keeping up with the ships. And I know he wants us to review ships as well, so we'll get into Dan's ships also. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately just what you can. You just have to try and focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but another part of that is the fact that, you know, ships takes so much more effort to get stuff up because you have to work on pilots and their gear, and then the ships and its gear
and abilities
and its skills and stuff. You know, it's a lot of people just it was too much.
Yep.
Like if I'm going to use it, like here's another hit tip. If I use Executrix, Darth Vader ain't in my starting lineup. He's the first reinforcement coming off the bench because he gets some nasty stuff with under that ship that can help you out. You know, so understanding what the ships do when they come as reinforcement or as starting lineup and what you get for bonuses and stuff, things of that nature for the capital ship that you're running is important too. So there's a lot to it, but if you guys are struggling with it, maybe it's your lineup, maybe it's a lot of things, but get with us, man. We'll help you out with it. It's not, trust me, we'll help you do it. You know, that's why when I did that lunch stream a few weeks back, I did a couple of those five ones. One I did by mistake because I thought it was 5E or 5D, and I had no problem with it. But then I went back and did 5D.
That was really easy. What are you guys talking
about? What the hell happened here?
You did the
wait
one
a minute.
before
How come I didn't 3-star this the first time? Like, oh crap!
Yeah.
And then I went
in. Remy's completely right, and wrote that it takes time and resources that we need in other tunes, and that's exactly the point.
That's true. In a certain
this game is all about managing your resources and focusing on something in particular, and then just kind of running.
Right. It's a progression.
Well, unless you're a whale.
Yeah. Unless you're a whale,
but kind of paying for it, and then you're prioritizing your money spent.
I think you have to get to a certain point, like with GW. Once you get all the characters done right, then you can go back in and just do nothing but ships out of there, right? Or you can do one character or one ship a day or something. There's a way to do it. You know, the ship currency should be used for ships initially until you have all the ships.
Also, for non-arena, right? If you want to have just depth of characters and ships for fleet stuff, you don't really need to go beyond Gear 9, really. Gear 9 gets you enough of the abilities. Now, it's not going to get you the top end, right? So you have to keep that in mind. But it gets you enough of the ability that the ship becomes usable. So you're looking kind of for Gear 9 on pilots of ships. And then at least, and it depends, you may not even need the reinforcements, the reinforcement mats on some of the ships. On some of the ships you may, right? So for example, Phoenix, in particular Phantom. Phantom is a really good reinforcement. But once you get the reinforcement, like you even though you don't necessarily have to work on the gear, the reinforcement needs to be level 3. If you don't have a level 3 reinforcement of Phantom is somewhat useless, right? So that's one where you have to focus on the reinforcement mats, right? So there's certain ships where you really need to focus on particular parts, and it doesn't have to be the gear. There's some abilities that you can do with that. Ranger was talking about Plo Koon. Plo Koon is fantastic. You bring him off the bench, he does healing, right? He doesn't need any reinforcement mats in order to do the healing. What it does is it provides extra, right? So you get 20% at the base, and I think you get 40%, and then you get Dispel at level 3. So all you really need, if you want to do something with Plo Koon for PvE purposes, is just focus on getting to level 2. Get that 40% health and 40% protection. You only need 25 reinforcement mats. And then, as a result, you'll be able to get more healing. And then in the fleet battles, right, when you're trying to fight for Nestus Shard, and noticing that Dan only has 3-star, that may be one of the issues as well. So when you're trying to get to that location, Plo Koon is great off the bench, and he heals your bigs up for 40%, and now he survives a little bit more. If you have Phantom, you can bring in Phantom, and you bring in another ship that helps to kind of counterbalance that ship overload that you're facing, right? Because it seems like the other ones are going too fast, and there's too many of them, and it just becomes annoying. Phantom can help equalize that. Yeah. So little things like that can help you as well.
Silencer in your starting lineup on those hard nodes is really good too, because once you get through the barrage, he's very tanky and stuff. He stuns one of those ships. It's really an amazing thing, guys. Taking one ship out of the fight, once it's your turn. So there are combinations of ships if you use them the right way that you can really, kick some ass. But we're kind of getting sidetracked here.
Well, kind of, because Dan did say he's stuck on 5C.
Yeah, well,
there's a caveat to getting your pilots maxed out, though. A lot of the abilities that those pilots bring, the final version of their skills gives a massive damage boost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually they're plus 30% to plus 50% in damage, on some of them.
It's going to sound like an after-school special, but know your abilities.
Yeah, know your ships, know when to bring them in, know, how to use them to manipulate. Because that's right, my young apprentice. Good answer. But yeah. If you guys are stuck, that's what we've got the Discord set up for. You can message us. I mean, go back and watch that lunch stream from 3 weeks ago, Thursday. You can find it to where you kind of see how I'm operating with the ships and stuff, and we talk about it in depth. So Dan, we talked about your future lineup for your Sith. You look pretty solid. You know what you need to farm, who to work on. So that's covered. What else do we need to look at? Mods, you need to remod.
We can look at who to farm next, but let's look at his fleet, because he was asking about fleet. He is stuck on 5C. So we can take a look at his fleet and see what he should work on. Looking just kind of for arena-wise, and I'm afraid to look. I'm going to do it. I did it yesterday and insanely had to yell at somebody. But let's look at the ally code and see.
He's got a lot of good ships here.
He's got a 7-star Reaper, dude. That's impressive.
Okay, before I look, any guesses on where he is in fleet?
200.
I'm guessing probably 150 with the ships that he's got.
Okay, he is 97.
Okay,
good man. You're in the top 100. Good.
Yeah, that's good.
We don't have to have Sanely yell at you, because when Sanely has to yell, it's a soulless yell. Like that's like
got what he needs to be beating these. So it's got to be a combination of him not using the right lineup or using his ships kind of weird. Because
so
he has all the capital ships at 7-star too.
He has Kylo Ren's command shuttle.
Okay, so his starting lineup. So he's gonna probably run Chimera because his Geos aren't really ready.
Right.
They're not gear wise up there. They're 7-star, but not gear wise. So he's probably gonna run Chimera. He's probably gonna run it with Biggs, TIE Advanced, and let's see where is his Imperial TIE. So his Imperial TIE is kind of weak, so he's probably gonna run First Order TIE Fighter.
Sure.
So that should be your starting lineup: Biggs, TIE Advanced, and First Order TIE Fighter. Then as your reinforcements, you are looking at probably TIE Reaper, Slave One. I'm trying to see. His Sun Fac is really low, so I think I would go with Scimitar and Poe.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed when I was going through those nodes, I had it made it considerably easier when I was using TIE Advanced off the bench, because of all the DOTs that he puts on when he comes out.
That ship when he comes off.
It made it considerably easier.
Well, with Executrix as well. I mean, if you run him under Executrix, he hits so hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so something else of note for everyone out there, if you didn't know. We all have the 5-dot mods and everything, right? And now we're trying to slice them up to 5A and 6E. While there isn't a huge increase, there is an increase in the galactic power between a 5E and 5D, and a 5C, and a 5B, and a 5A. There is actually an increase in galactic power. And a lot of the stats and stuff of the ships are reliant on the galactic power of the character. And so one thing you may want to try and do, again, focus on arena first with your mods, but you may want to try and remod your characters with as many 5.5A mods as you can. So those will be the ones that were gold before and maybe failed on their like speed rolls or offense rolls or whatever it is. If you have gold versions of those, stick them onto your pilots instead of like gray mods like you used to, because those will be useful as gold mods that have useless secondary stats.
Yeah.
So that's for everyone out there that changes galactic power.
Eventually, you're going to want to get them to 6E so that you can get the extra speed.
Yeah.
Correct.
For every two you get like a 1 speed or something like that, or 2 speed.
Right.
Yeah,
so
speed for every 2 of those mods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But don't 5E. Don't go to 6E on the crap mods.
No.
That's the reference. You go on the good mods and then kind of work your way down. You can stick them on your pilots. A lot of the pilots are good in other places too. For all of those ships, the pilots are pretty useful. Maul is useful. Poe is useful. Boba's useful. Death Trooper, Shore Trooper, Vader. I mean, these are all useful characters. So
right. You're not going
to be 6Eing mods on some random tune that you're not going to use anywhere else.
Mm-mm. You start with the arena team, work your way down. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
and for the purposes of like the 5C, like you were mentioning, and he said he's having difficulty on that, right?
Dan said that?
Yeah, Dan said that. So one thing you may want to do is
think of what that
use
battle was.
Umbaran.
I'm gonna go look right now.
Umbaran is a tanky ship. He also does target lock with his special. You can bring him off the bench, or you can put him in your starting lineup. Your team is not going to be faster than the opponents in most of the fleet things, so they start out with like full turn meter and all that fun stuff. So you can replace First Order TIE Fighter with Umbaran, right? So that's one potential. Another potential thing you can do, your Plo Koon is level 53 and blue gear, so you might want to work on him a little bit. Go ahead, Grim.
Oh, I just want to ask you, which capital ship would you be using with Umbaran and the tanky ships for that?
I would probably still go with Chimera.
And use your heal first thing, not your meter reduction.
Yeah, I would use heal.
Okay.
I may, depending on what's going on, I may call the assist with TIE Advance to give protection to Biggs, depending on what the sequence of events was. If like Biggs lost his taunt or something like that, I may call TIE Advance to assist. But it's something like that, right? And then you'd want to bring in Plo Koon if you can heal him up. You can have other ships in your lineup as well. I don't know what you've done with the... Oh, they have ships now in GG. Perfect. So his reinforcement is still level 1. So if you wanted to, you could focus on the reinforcements of Phantom. Not a big deal, though. I mean, you're on the right track here. You have the ships. You need to work on the pilots a little bit and maybe some of the abilities. So I think you're.
This is the lineup that I use for 5C. I went with Biggs, TIE Advance, and Silencer, and then I had Scimitar, Boba, Plo Koon, and Poe as my reinforcements. That's what I used for 5D and for 5E. You can see they have 3 stars. Try that.
Work on your crew then. Yeah, his crew is 7-star, but he wanted to work on First Order. So yeah, if you want to go with that lineup, work on your
cruise ship's amazing because you take the initial hit. I healed, and I'm just using crew. I mean, TIE Advance is going to hit with his basic. It's going to hit that target lock that's going to help Biggs, and then I'm using Silencer just to stun the snot out of folks, right?
Yeah.
And then I brought Plo Koon in immediately, right? Healed up Biggs, healed up everybody, put protection up, right? And then I think I brought in Scimitar just to keep more stuff going on Biggs. And then just wait until I started to get my big hits. Once I got my big hit with Thrawn and took out a couple of the ships, because I was just basically, I'd kill a ship here and there, but it's reinforcement, they're healing. It's a longer fight, but it can be beaten. And then as I got to the end, I mean, that's kind of how you have to do it. Now, if your Biggs goes down, then immediately bring in Boba Fett. Because that's your taunter right there with counter and everything like that you can bring in. If like Finn said, if your Biggs is hurting a little bit, he doesn't have his taunt, you can select TIE Advance to hit a ship and he will do automatic target lock, right? And that's great too because you just go through ship doing target lock, right? And then if Biggs does come down, you bring your Boba, he's going to do his missile barrage, hit multiple ships and ability block them, right? And then on top of that, you still got your Silencer sitting there stunning folks. And then when they get to some point, you're blasting them off the battlefield. So this is kind of the lineup I've been using. It's worked really effective. But you have to be very understanding the lineup you're facing. You know, the lineup in 5C is going to be totally different than the lineup in 5D, which is all those TIE... it's Mace's fleet, right? And it's a pain in the ass. So, again, knowing how to use the ships and stuff, you know, you want to go after Ahsoka first, you know, get her out of there. So, you know, just knowing which ships to attack, how to stun them, who to attack when is key for that battle. But for the 5D and the 5E, I didn't even do 5F yet. What's wrong with me? That's a free Zeta.
You have no reason to.
Well, it's a free Zeta.
No, Zeta.
Yeah, I know. You can get that whenever. It's not
I'm just focusing on getting Empress shards. But yeah, it can be done. So Dan, if you're having problems, just let us know. Go back, watch the video. We can help you out with this stuff. All right, back to Dan's stuff. I mean, Dan, your lineup looks really great for ships. So, if you're having problems, just check the lineup.
Yeah, you might just need to tweak a little thing here or there for your lineup, but you should have what it takes in order to beat 5C.
Yeah, and 5D. 5E is easy. It really was. I was shocked because I was like, that's what I was looking at.
It's always those middle
ones. Wait a minute here.
Yeah. 5C and 5D on the hard, and then 5E on the normal. Those are like the crazy hard ones.
5E hard is not that bad.
No, 5E regular though is that stupid.
That one's that's
Imperial tie, like 800 of them. Freaking. Okay. All right, and then the last thing was where he should farm his hard nodes. He said he's working on Visas, Bosk, Range Trooper, and now Bastila. Okay. How you want to do this is completely up to you. What I am doing, and it's not necessarily right for everyone. It depends on what you want to focus on. What I am doing, I am not doing Visas anymore, and Visas was already 6-star on our way to 7. I'm not touching Visas. I never touched Range Trooper. I know it's Sainley's character. The unfortunate part is he's not going to be required for anything. So I didn't touch Range Trooper yet, but he is a really good character. So if you love yourself some Imperial Troopers, he is worth it. I was working on Bosk, but I stopped Bosk because as a release of Django as a marquee, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything bounty hunter related that's going to require like a bunch of 7-stars right now. So I can go back to Bosk later. So what I am doing is I am doing Bastila, I am doing Jolie, and I am doing Vandor Chewie, all of with a refresh of their node, which is now 25 crystals, and then 3 attempts at Rose Tico's node because that's the only light side hard node, and that uses up all 3 of my 50 crystal energy refreshes. And so I'm focusing on the KOTOR and the solo tunes because those are they're all KOTOR and I guess technically
those are the most likely
things
that
to have
are going to be needed for a new release here soon.
Exactly.
TM.
Yeah,
so that doesn't mean that the other characters aren't good. Bosk is really, really good. Visas is really, really good. Range Trooper is really good with Imperial Troopers. All of them have uses, so I don't have any issue with you like farming those characters if that's the direction you want to go. But figure out what direction it is, like what your focus is, and as we stick with your plan. Stay focused, right? My plan was never to really work on them. My plan was just to get them to 7-star because I wanted to 7-star them. That was it. So for me, now my focus is on KOTOR and solo characters, and that is what I'm going all in on with 3 energy refreshes and 3 hard node refreshes, 1 for each of them.
Yeah. So for me, I could tell you my plan. So I don't do my energy until after I get the last 2 energy. For my dailies, I will do 3 Rose Ticos when I wake up in the morning, right? 3 Rose, and I'll do 3 Holdo, right? Just to knock out my dailies, right? I am still sticking with Holdo because I think she's fantastic. I'm not too worried about Rose. I do 3 of hers a day just to get my light side done, right? Then I let my energy build. 1 o'clock I get the refresh. 7 o'clock Eastern I get the refresh. 10 o'clock I get the refresh. At that time, then I use 350 refresh crystals, and I'm farming Bastila, Jolie, finish off Holdo, Bosk, and Vandor Chewie, right? Now for Cantina, for ships, I'm doing Emphas and Lando. The other 100 refresh I'm using is for ships. I'm doing Lando and Emphas, right? With the energies and everything built up, then I knock out all the rest. I finish up Holdo, and then I'll do Bosk, I'll do Jolie, I'll do Bastila, definitely Vandor Chewie. I've taken Visas Mar off. Just one I'm just not doing. And then Cantina Kira is I'm finished her to 7 stars. I got L3 to 5. Fine with that, right? I'm going to finish up Kira. Then I'll go back and I'll finish up L3. right? I could go into L3 and do Canteen and get her to 6 stars, but it's like she's 5 stars. You know, same thing with Vandor. You can see all my characters are 5 stars. So if there is a legendary for them
at least you'll be able to unlock it.
But you see I'm farming a lot of characters. So I'm going the opposite way. I'm just going more characters with a lot more energy. So I'm farming because it's 8. Now if it was just 5, I would have a totally different different perspective on that, right? So that's kind of how you have to look at your, you know, who are you farming. Now it's totally different for each person. But the biggest thing is stay on target. When I get locked in like this, I put all my characters as favorites. I look at them. Now, some of them you see, Imperial Prodro, why is he up here? Because I'm working on his gear. Why is Wamp up here? Obviously, he's not 7 stars. Why is Han Solo up here? Because I still want to work on his gear and his Omegas and stuff, right? So I keep those characters up there until they're completely done. If I can't do anything else with them, then I'll take them off favorite, and then I know that it's up to that point. Until they're done, like I just did Magma Trooper. If you guys go back and watch the stream, he was up here. He's gear 12 done. I took him off the list. He's done with gear. I'm done with him. He's gear 12, and so moving on. So that's kind of how you want to focus your farming. So if you're looking at this is kind of how you have to attack. Figure out what's your point of attack, how many crystals you're getting a day, where you want to use them. For me, it's more energy to farm more nodes, right? And so I'm spending, 100 plus 150, 250 on energy. I'm getting at least minimum every day because I'm top 4 in arena. I rotate, but a minimum of 350 crystals. And that's not counting the other crystals you get from doing your dailies, right? So I'm in the black. Even doing that, I'm still making crystals. And that's why if you look at my crystals, I have 3,203 crystals. And, you know, so that's kind of have to approach it. I'm trying to think of the word here. It's understanding your resources and how you can, you know, divvy them out. So there you go.
Yeah, like with my favorites, what I have in there is I have my arena team that I'm trying to finish up. Then I have in there the pilots for my fleet arena.
Sure, there you go.
And then after that, I'm going for the what I think is most likely to be for the next unlock. So it's Solo and Bastila and Jolie.
Yeah. You know, the rest of the solo characters are going to come out as well. So when those characters come out, I'll prioritize again who I want to farm. You know, but you have to kind of be in that position because I have nothing else to farm really anywhere else, right? The reason I'm doing, you know, Kira, it's like because I have all the other characters done. If you don't have crew and you don't have Death Trooper, don't worry about solo tunes. Get those characters. You know, get your teams up. Pick a team and focus on that. We see that in a lot of the roster reviews we do where it's like pick a path. Stick to it, right? I don't care what new shiny comes out. You got to stick to the plan. All right. Need some high quality H2O, coach.
All right, so I think that covers everything for Dan's roster review, plus a bunch of other tidbits for all of you guys as you're listening.
Sure.
If you have any other questions, Dan, just hop onto the RSG Discord. You know where to find me, and just message me with any questions. We'd be glad to help.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, if you want me to help you remod my character, $25 to the GoFundMe. The link is in the YouTube description.
Or you can just do the GoFundMe because you want to see us go to Disney and me and Finn run 13 miles. That's fun too.
I think seeing Grim do it is going to be more fun though.
Why is that?
I don't know. I was doing some more research, dude, since I'm like at considerably higher elevation than you guys, and I'm going to be doing the training here. It's probably going to be an easy marathon.
I think them's fighting words right there.
Well, I'm in I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. It ain't flat here, brother. It's near the Appalachians.
I'm at 5,200. I'm at 5,000.
Oh yeah, for both of us. Because when I'm running out here, I mean, you can tell.
No. It's on now. It's on now.
No, Finn, you'll be eating Twinkies on the side. You'll throw up. Because as soon as I get down here, it's time to go run some more.
I'm gonna do that.
Run.
Okay. Time to play.
Time to play Guess That Ginger.
That. Ginger.
It's actually guess the soulless one.
Guess the famous ginger.
That's not as sketchy. Guess
the ginger.
Okay, so there's going to be 3 hints, and the first hint will give 5 points, and then 3, and then 1. Let's see, and there's 6 characters. Let's get started. Fights with using electricity.
Fights with using electricity.
Cyclops?
No, you knucklehead.
No.
Fights with using...
We need to put time limit. We figured this out last time, though. We have to give 5 seconds, and then we move on to the next one.
Well, but hold on, that's a weird one. Fights with electricity?
Well, that's why they're supposed to be hard.
So I know, but give us a
seconds,
minute, man. Jesus Christ.
No, because it takes too... No, then it takes too long.
Oh,
we have to
Finn, stop it. You're
fine, 10 seconds. We got to do this. We got to go through them.
Electricity. Red hair.
All right, I think we can go to the next one.
Yeah.
His skin is the color green.
His skin is colored
Is
green.
Is it Electro?
No.
No, I have no idea. Next one.
He first fought in Street Fighter 2.
Oh, God. The guy from South America.
Blanca.
Blanca, yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, Grim got that one. Okay, was briefly replaced by Waldo the Wizard.
What?
Who the what? Who's the what's it? All right, next question. Next one.
Gets chased by kids.
Chased by kids. One more.
They're after his Lucky Charms.
Oh, God.
The leprechaun.
What's its name, though?
Isn't it Lucky?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Lucky the leprechaun.
Okay, next one. Is constantly at odds with his sister Dee Dee.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Yep. She first appeared in Swedish books in 1945.
Hippie Longstocking.
Yep.
Damn it, Finn, you beat me on that one. Son of a bitch.
Okay, voiced by Cameron Diaz.
Oh, Princess from Shrek. Fiona.
Yep.
Do you like pina colada?
When you said princess, I wasn't gonna steal it from you. You had already started it. So
whatever, Finn.
Okay, last one. Describes herself as an eco-terrorist of global importance.
Oh, Poison Ivy.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah. I think Ranger won then, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know my own kind.
Got 6 and Grim got 6.
Oh, we tied.
No.
Oh, I won. Oh, hey.
You won.
Do you like pina coladas? Getting caught in the rain.
Yeah. Ranger got 10 and Grim and I got 6.
Darth Hideous, go for the seal, Finn. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I didn't want to steal it. He was already saying princess.
He didn't know. He didn't know. Well,
no, I did. I knew it was Fiona. I just didn't want to take it.
Well,
you were in the.
No, that's fine. All's fair in love and war.
I know.
Jokes.
It's a fun game. We ain't trying to.
I could carry the eye.
My focus is now on beating Grim at the marathon.
Those are really good, Stanley. This game's become popular, man. I love this game.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we get it a correct answer, do you like pina colada?
All right. Let's go with questions now.
Yeah.
Blackbeard Premium. Question, what phase of the Sith raid is Bastila best in?
7.
Phase 1, I think, right?
1.
Ski Trooper, question, how can I blame Finn for needing a Zeta Old Ben for my best of the Territory War Defense Team?
Easy. Hashtag I blame Finn.
Yeah,
Yep.
see, it's just,
I think you just did.
Yep.
It's simple.
Mr. Pennypinch, question for Finn, since I don't deal with banks and cards, etc. If I send you the cash, can you put it towards the run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have I mean, if you want to, also you can put it in the PayPal as well, if you have a way to get it into the PayPal. But yeah,
you can even get a temporary debit card, so you don't have to deal with all that crap. Just that
and
PayPal.
then you can use that to put it in the PayPal, and then just make sure you write us for the charity run, and Ranger and I will get that squared away.
I'll use it for Hookers and Blow.
And I'll make sure to remove it before he does that.
Not if I block your monkey ass. In fact, I'm gonna go do that now. Let's see, Finn no longer have access. Hookers and Blow for Ranger. Yee. Nah, I'm gonna do it.
Isra Felks, Gaming. Question, can someone post a link to the back-end data with formulas and such on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? I can't seem to find it on the front page.
They are scattered. I don't know which formulas you're looking at, but there aren't
kind of
I don't think there's a consolidated page. That would be interesting to set up, but like potency.
Is he talking about the packs?
Well, those aren't formulas. Those are just the probabilities.
Right.
If he's talking about that. Those you can get in game when you go to the pack. There should be a link now in the packs that have any kind of RNG that says pack probabilities, and you can click on that if that's what he's talking about. If you're talking about the formulas in the game, like
how does potency and stuff work?
Armor, yeah, those are all scattered. I don't think there's a central resource on that. If somebody's putting that together, we'll definitely promote it. But I don't think there's a central resource for it.
Finn, get on it. You're the math man.
I'm working on our website. Once we get it up,
you can put it on the website.
Yeah.
Some of the formulas have been changed multiple times, so some of those forms are probably way out of date.
Do you like pina colada?
Chewy, question, running Nightmare Team in Arena, have a multi-tool ready to go, and I have Nihilus, Asajj, JTR, and Thrawn available to put it on. Who would be the best value?
JTR or Asajj?
No, I'm either Nihilus or Thrawn, because you're saying you're running a Nightmare team, so it's probably on your Arena team, yeah. I would probably actually go with Thrawn, because if you have an ebb and flow on Thrawn, he gets Health Steal, and then it works with your Chimera.
Voltron!
Oh. Makes Blazing
Sword that much better. Vader does TCG. Question, I see that people are getting overwhelmed by marquee events. In my opinion, it's not the marquee itself. It's what happens after when the characters keep getting put into hard nodes. Your thoughts?
It's both.
It's a little of both.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
You know why? Because I like free shit.
Yeah, I think the problem is a lot of people are frustrated with having a bunch of 3-star characters just sitting in their roster with no way able to get them, knowing that they're probably going to be used for something moving forward.
Right.
I don't think it's just the fact that it's a bunch of marquees. It's the fact that the marquees are leading to something, and there's too many that we're going to have to farm at once. Normally, you kind of release them as like a group. It was almost like you're releasing like 5, 6, maybe 10 marquees, and then there's a legendary that's utilizing 5 of them, and then there's another 5 to 10, and then there's another legendary or hero or something like that that utilizes 5 or 6 of them. What they essentially did was release like 20 of them, and now 15 of them are probably going to be used for 2 or 3 legendaries in this month, and that's the frustration. So, to your point, I don't think it's just the marquees. I think Grim is right. People like getting the free characters. It is to the point of what's happening
It's not the free characters. It's the free mods, man.
It's a free porn.
I didn't get any mods with the ship.
Do you like pina coladas?
You got free reinforcement mats.
Yeah, I got character shards. Okay, that's all I got. Yeah, it's the fact that they're stuck at 3-star, and you have a feeling you're going to need them at 7-star. So the combination of those is really what causes the after effect hatred of marquees. It's not just the marquee itself.
Chewy, question, what happened to the Moist stream? I can't find it on YouTube on his page.
I was looking for that too. It's also not there. I watched it as I was falling asleep last night, but for whatever reason, Miss stream isn't there from last night.
Really?
It's not on his YouTube page.
Hashtag I blame Finn.
Let me go back and look here real quick in my library.
Yeah, you may need to ask Mist. He might have left it unlisted or something. I don't know.
Oh, I was looking at it last night because I was, of course, on it. So I was trying to help him with it because we did have some technical difficulties.
Right, but he was using the live link. He wasn't doing through an event like we don't.
Oh, really?
No, he does it through the live.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because I was helping with that as well. So yeah, that's true. Let me look here. Mist.
So it might still be unlisted.
Let me see.
Well, the thing is, I don't think his stream was unlisted when it was live. If it was, then it would have stayed unlisted, right? So I don't know if he switched it or something. So maybe just something.
It's still there. I can go back to it, but I can't tell if it's what its status is. Because I'm back to it.
Can you watch it? Because
I'm watching it right now. I just went back to my history and went back to it.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to check with Miss. It might be unlisted then.
Let me check his channel and see what's going on. Let's see if I go to his channel and go to videos.
It's not in there. The one is from a week ago.
Yeah, it could be. It may not be uploaded yet. So I can go back and look at it through my history, but I can't. Yeah, I don't know. You guys have to yell at Mist. See, Mist, why you being like this, yo?
Everyone go invade Mist's Discord and go ask him what this.
Moist Passier. Somewhere tits right now is punching a wall and thinking of horrible things to do to us for us saying that. I'm stuck in this hurricane because of Finn, and they're saying Moist, get him.
I did talk to her though. She is doing fine. Her barn is taking damage, but she's okay.
Yeah.
Her house and everything is fine.
Yeah. They're just
that's one thing though. You know, if we get on her bad side when we go to do this run, she's gonna like kneecap all of us.
Well, that's why you're running the whole time.
She'll kneecap you guys, but she knows better with me.
Maybe that's what we need to make us all, beat that 13-mile thing. Is just
running
tits
from McVenom
us down with a a tire iron.
Like, look.
Say moist again. Say moist again.
I dare you. I double dare you. Moist ain't no word I use. A wrench. I dare you. I triple dog dare you.
DSP question. So with the solo legendary expected, will that be the first legendary to require specific tunes or just scoundrels?
You don't know yet.
You're assuming that they're not going to create a tag, just to put that out there. You're assuming they're not going to create a solo tag
already. Smuggler tag.
Yeah, but smugglers include things outside of the solo characters.
Yeah, but remember, this whole solo legendary thing is all speculation right now. There's no info saying that this is what's going to happen. That's just us, saying it's logical for them to do this. Now, if they do it or not is up to them.
I'm saying it's going to happen. There you go.
Well, the next character to come out is not going to be Marquis, and this month is the DVD release of the movie. So
I think it's going to be Beckett. I thought it was going to be Dryden. I think it's going to be Beckett based on that picture that keeps on popping up in game. So,
Dorison, question: what's more important, farming Lando, Bastila, and Julie to 5-star first, or saying forget that and just farm Nest?
Depends where you are in arena.
Mm-hmm.
Arena still takes priority over getting a character that we don't know what his kit is going to do. So if Enfys will make a difference for you in Arena, then go with Enfys first. If Enfys is just going to be kind of an ancillary character, then it's up to you kind of what you want to focus on. Do you want to focus on getting more territory war stuff done and focusing on Enfys, or do you want to work on the new legendary to make sure you have all the characters? And so it's up to you. Based on where you are and what you want to focus on. Nothing wrong, right or wrong with either.
The fact that Enfys is badass at 3 stars.
Yeah.
She just gets
amazing.
Better and better, but she's already badass at her base unlock. So Just saying that. Like, I only have her at 3 stars, and she's kicking ass in arena.
I have her 5 stars, and I'm not using arena, but she's just amazing.
Chewie, why can't we get an ally for the fleet table?
You're lucky you have 3 ships and not 1.
You'll like it too. So.
Next question.
Mr. Pennyfinch, question for panel. Should I continue hard node farming solo tunes or KOTOR tunes?
Solo first. You want to start on the KOTOR, but solo is going to come first. If there's anything, KOTOR will come after, because there's only 2 of the 5 released right now. So.
Mm-hmm. Science.
Kazukagi, too easy. Question, so don't Gear 9 Plo Koon and don't max out his ship reinforcement, correct?
Yes, you can. Yeah, just in terms of minimal stuff. Now, his reinforcement ability is really good. Don't get me wrong. He works really well under a mace lead and everything. So if you wanted to work on Plo Koon, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you're looking just for kind of bare minimum to make him useful in like a fleet table or something, yeah, I would say reinforcement would be secondary. It helps to get him to level 2 reinforcement, not necessary, but getting his gear to gear 9 would, you'll start to notice that his ship gets a little bit more survival.
That's right.
Well, his full reinforcement is really good too.
It is.
It's just not required.
Correct.
Michael Longmead, question in arena running Jango Fett lead, Boba Fett, Bosk, and Cad Bane. Who would be the best 5th character and what makes that 5th the best?
Enfys,
Jango, Boba.
Enfys.
Yeah. What was it? It was Jango, Boba, Bosk, and Cad Bane.
Yeah, go in an Enfys nest and you're golden.
Yeah, give her all your best speed mods, and then with
Plus you'll get those speed bonus from Jango, and go forth and slaughter.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before I start seeing the 330 plus speed nests on my shard. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be scary.
Very scary.
Nathaniel Miller, question, anyone else suspicious the in-game ads for Solo's release are hints that something new's coming in the game?
Yeah, you know that. Yeah.
If you notice, there's no Enfys on there, so that kind of, just to point that out, I mentioned it before, there's a chance that whatever solo thing is coming out will not require Enfys. That picture kind of supported that. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, but you don't see Enfys on that list of characters. And then you also see Beckett and I can't remember her other... Val,
yeah.
I don't think Val is going to come into the game, but I think Beckett is going to be the legendary that we're chasing now. I still was hoping for Dryden, but now I think it's going to be...
Which,
makes sense.
Well, if it follows the legendary things... Beckett might be Darkseid, which would be
something
awesome.
It will be.
Darkseid. Put on the baby.
Next question.
Captain Obvious, Solo comes out tomorrow. Who's actually going to buy it? I'd buy that for $1.
I'll buy it for $3.50.
What do you mean you'll buy it for $3.50? Goddamn friend, I told you not to be giving that damn bird no $3.50. Well, that's what Finn does. He gets $3.50 for anything.
All right. Let's do 2 more questions, Stanley.
That's the last question.
Oh, okay, good. Question.
We did it, guys. Another
good
successful stream. So we'll end
I have to hop off now.
So if you're watching this, guys, again, this is Lunch Stream. If you're watching this right now, stop what you're doing. Go hit that thumbs up. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Obviously, you love the content. It does help us out tremendously. So giving it a thumbs up and subscribing really helps us. If you'd like to support us in our endeavors to keep putting out this great content, visit our Patreon page. We have different levels from $5 to $25 on our Patreon. You get different stuff for each one. And you know, the higher you are, the more stuff you get. So check out our Patreon page. It's listed down below. Don't forget about the GoFundMe, which should be in the link soon. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Soon TM, say no more, Dr. Finn. So that should be in there soon. But check that out for the upcoming April marathon run we're going to be doing. So that'll be great. Super. But yeah, so check all that out. Remember, guys, tomorrow we of the Jedi Academy from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time, where we have people on like good old Marines and Warrior and Remon and Jedi Master Adastra and T-Money, just a whole bunch of game changers and YouTubers, and we sprinkle in a bit of us to make it all not make sense. So check that out tomorrow, and then Sunday we have our D&D campaign continuing on Sunday. If you haven't checked that out and you love D&D, by all means, come visit us. It's from 5 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. If you would like a roster review, all you need to do is send your GG page to Finn, so you want a roster review. Make sure he does respond, so we can throw that in there. If you have questions that we haven't got to today, go into our Discord. We got a community of over 2,000 folks that are there to help you out with any of your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes questions. So please check that out as well. So on behalf of myself and the RSG crew, I'd just like to say thank you guys for stopping by. We really appreciate everybody's support. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you when we see you, and everyone stay safe. Peace.